Hello, I'm SA, your AI essayist. Please note that all content, audio and video in this presentation are AI generated. As AI can sometimes produce inaccuracies, I encourage you to verify any factual information presented. With that in mind, let's begin.
Naval Ravikant's intellectual trajectory offers a compelling study in the evolution of thought concerning wealth creation, personal fulfillment, and the navigation of complex modern systems. His emergence as a prominent voice in contemporary discourse is rooted in a deep engagement with fundamental questions that have long occupied thinkers and doers alike. How does one achieve abundance, cultivate contentment, and exert meaningful influence in a world characterized by accelerating change and often contradictory societal expectations? The early landscape Ravikant traversed was one brimming with the promise and peril of the burgeoning internet age. This era presented a unique set of problems. Traditional pathways to prosperity, often predicated on established hierarchies and linear career progressions, began to fray under the disruptive force of digital innovation. Individuals found themselves grappling with a sense of amplified uncertainty, where the value of established skills could diminish rapidly, and the definition of success itself seemed to be in constant flux. The sheer volume of information, while democratizing access to knowledge, also created a cacophony, making it increasingly difficult to discern signal from noise, to identify genuine opportunities amidst a sea of ephemeral trends. Societal pressures amplify these challenges, often equating material accumulation with intrinsic worth and success with a relentless pursuit of external validation. Within this environment, Ravikant began to articulate a distinct perspective, one that eschewed conventional wisdom in favor of a more fundamental, almost elemental, understanding of how individuals could shape their own destinies. His early ventures, while varied, consistently reflected a probing curiosity about the underlying mechanics of value creation and the nature of effective action. He was an entrepreneur seeking to build businesses, an observer, a synthesizer, dissecting the forces at play in the economic and social spheres, seeking to identify patterns that eluded superficial analysis. His initial forays into the entrepreneurial world were marked by persistent exploration of how to build scalable enterprises in the nascent digital economy. This involved confronting the problem of limited personal capacity, the inherent constraint of a single individual's time and energy when faced with ambitious visions. The prevailing ethos often dictated a model of direct, labor-intensive effort. Success was frequently measured by the hours invested, the tangible output produced through personal exertion. Ravikant began to question this paradigm. He observed that true multiplicative growth often stemmed from an ability to transcend the limitations of direct personal involvement. This observation led him to a foundational insight that would become a cornerstone of his philosophy: the critical importance of leverage. He recognized that the ability to amplify one's impact was a function of intelligently commanding resources that operated independently of one's immediate physical presence or direct supervision. This concept of leverage, in its various forms, provided a powerful lens through which to re-examine the very nature of wealth and influence. It offered a framework for understanding how individuals could move beyond the constraints of their own labor and achieve disproportionate results. The problem of decision-making in an era of overwhelming complexity also occupied his early thinking. Faced with a deluge of information and the inherent uncertainty of future outcomes, individuals often struggled to make choices that aligned with their long-term aspirations. Traditional decision-making models, relying on exhaustive analysis or gut feeling, frequently proved insufficient. Ravikant's approach began to emphasize a more probabilistic and principles-based method. He sought to identify timeless truths and fundamental principles that could serve as reliable guides, even as the surface-level details of the world shifted. This meant cultivating a mindset that embraced uncertainty as an inherent aspect of reality. His early explorations into building companies and understanding markets revealed a recurring theme: the power of intellectual property and the enduring value of code. In the digital realm, these intangible assets possessed a unique ability to scale, to reach vast audiences without a proportional increase in human effort. This differed from traditional businesses that were often bound by physical limitations and the direct costs of labor. The problem involved effectively harnessing scalable assets and building systems that could generate value autonomously, guided by the inherent logic of digital infrastructure. This era of vigorous entrepreneurial activity and intellectual exploration established the foundation for Ravikant's subsequent articulation of a philosophy linking wealth, happiness, and wisdom. His interest extended beyond mere capital accumulation to the core principles enabling individuals to achieve abundance, encompassing both material and existential dimensions. He addressed the prevalent societal narrative that often presented financial success and personal well-being as opposing forces, implying a zero-sum exchange, where one necessitated the sacrifice of the other. Ravikant's evolving perspective proposed that these outcomes were interconnected, achievable through a profound understanding of oneself and the world. He began examining the essence of happiness, viewing it as a cultivable skill and a state of being that could be engineered through deliberate practice and a refined comprehension of one's internal world, rather than a transient emotion dependent on external conditions. This differed from the common societal emphasis on pursuing happiness through external acquisitions or reaching specific milestones. The issue he identified was a tendency to externalize the source of happiness, believing fulfillment resided in possessions, status, or the approval of others. Ravikant's early reflections suggested an internal locus of control, recognizing that true contentment originated from within through mastering one's thoughts and reactions. This foundational period, marked by deep engagement with entrepreneurial realities and philosophical inquiry into success and happiness, prepared the ground for his wider influence. The challenges he confronted: uncertainty, the constraints of individual effort, the complexities of effective decision-making, and the pursuit of genuine well-being or enduring human concerns, magnified and reflected through the prism of the modern technological era. His early endeavors demonstrated a mind actively seeking to comprehend and articulate the principles leading to a more abundant, fulfilling, and influential life, surpassing conventional limitations imposed by societal norms and inherent human capacity. The fundamental challenge for any ambitious individual, especially during the early stages of the digital revolution, centered on the inherent constraints of personal capacity, the immense scope of potential impact, the ambitious aspirations to transform industries or establish entirely new ones, contrasted sharply with the finite hours in a day and the singular nature of human effort. This gap between aspiration and execution was a widespread problem, frequently leaving individuals feeling overwhelmed, their reach falling short of their grasp. The early information age, while offering unprecedented tools for communication and creation, also intensified this tension. How could one individual, or even a small team, hope to command the resources and attention necessary to effect significant change in a world increasingly defined by scale and complexity? Naval Ravikant approached this predicament by fundamentally reframing the very concept of productivity. He moved the locus of effectiveness away from the simple accumulation of hours worked, a measure deeply ingrained in traditional industrial paradigms. Instead, he posited that true productivity, the kind that could translate ambition into tangible reality, was a function of one's ability to command and orchestrate resources. This was about working smarter, by leveraging the power of systems and assets that extended far beyond one's immediate physical or mental output. He meticulously identified distinct categories of these commanding resources, which he termed leverage. The first, and perhaps most historically significant, was capital. The ability to deploy financial resources allowed individuals and entities to acquire assets, fund operations, and invest in future growth. Capital could amplify human effort by enabling the purchase of machinery, the hiring of personnel, or the acquisition of intellectual property. It was the engine that could power ventures or beyond the financial means of a single person, enabling a scale of operation that ours alone could never achieve. The second crucial form of leverage Ravikant highlighted was labor. This referred to the ability to direct the efforts of other people. While capital could buy tools, labor could wield them. The art of management of building and leading teams was a powerful lever. It allowed for the delegation of tasks, the specialization of skills, and the collective pursuit of the common goal. A single individual's output could be multiplied exponentially by effectively organizing and motivating others to contribute their unique talents. This form of leverage, however, came with its own complexities, requiring strong communication, trust, and a clear vision to ensure that collective effort was directed efficiently and harmoniously. The third pillar of leverage, and one that gained immense prominence with the rise of the digital economy, was intellectual property, or code as Ravikant often concisely referred to it, encompassing all forms of reproducible knowledge and creative output. This was leverage in its most scalable and disembodied form. A piece of software, a well-crafted algorithm, a compelling piece of writing, or a patented invention could be replicated and distributed with minimal marginal cost. Unlike labor, which required ongoing compensation and management, or capital, which needed continuous deployment and risk depreciation, intellectual property, once created, could generate value repeatedly and across vast networks. It offered the potential for near-infinite scalability, a stark departure from the linear constraints of personal time or the finite capacity of a workforce. The power of code, in this broad sense, lay in its ability to automate processes, disseminate information, and create value that could reach millions, even billions, without a commensurate increase in the creator's direct effort for each new user. Ravikant's articulation of these distinct forms of leverage provided a powerful analytical framework for understanding how individuals could transcend the limitations of their own direct contributions. It shifted the focus from the input of effort to the output of results, mediated by the intelligent application of these commanding resources. This perspective was particularly prescient in the context of the burgeoning internet and the software-driven businesses that were beginning to define the economic landscape. Companies built on scalable code, like search engines or social media platforms, demonstrated the extraordinary power of this third form of leverage, allowing them to achieve global reach and unprecedented levels of impact from relatively small core teams. The modern relevance of Ravikant's concept of leverage is profound and pervasive. It forms the bedrock of much of contemporary entrepreneurial thinking and economic strategy. In an era where information flows instantaneously and markets are global, the ability to command capital, effectively manage labor, and, crucially, create and deploy scalable intellectual property is paramount for success. His insights offer a counter-narrative to the often futile pursuit of mere busyness, guiding individuals and organizations toward activities that amplify their impact through strategic resource allocation. The principles he articulated extend to any field where individuals seek to extend their influence and create value beyond their immediate personal capacity. Understanding leverage is understanding how to build a force multiplier for one's own intentions and contributions in a complex and interconnected world. The pursuit of wealth often becomes entangled with societal anxieties and ingrained misconceptions. A prevalent viewpoint frames wealth as a finite resource, a zero-sum contest where one person's gain necessitates another's loss, or attributes its acquisition primarily to sheer fortune. This perspective fosters a sense of scarcity and can paralyze individuals, leading them to view financial success as an elusive destination governed by external forces rather than an achievable outcome shaped by deliberate actions. It is a narrative that can breed resentment and a passive stance toward personal economic agency. Naval Ravikant offers a profoundly different framework, one that redefines wealth as a measurable consequence of creating and delivering substantial value to others. His philosophy posits wealth as a direct byproduct of problem solving, a tangible reflection of the utility one provides to the world. This perspective shifts the focus from acquisition to contribution, from passive hope to active creation. Wealth, in this view, is an earned reward, a quantifiable signal that one's efforts have positively impacted the lives or endeavors of others, whether through products, services, or ideas. Central to this understanding is the principle of accountability. Ravikant emphasizes that individuals who willingly accept responsibility for outcomes, who embrace ownership of their projects and their impact, are far more likely to generate wealth. This encourages a proactive mindset, driving individuals to identify needs, develop solutions, and see those solutions through to completion, all while accepting the inherent risks and rewards. Furthermore, Ravikant highlights the critical role of specific knowledge. This refers to expertise gained through personal experience, unique insights developed by pursuing one's genuine curiosities and passions, rather than generic, universally available information. The market rewards specific knowledge because it is scarce and difficult to replicate. When one cultivates a deep understanding in a particular domain, especially one that aligns with personal interests, they are uniquely positioned to identify problems others overlooked and to devise innovative solutions. This specialized insight becomes a powerful engine for value creation, differentiating individuals and their offerings in a crowded marketplace. The concept of long-term thinking is another cornerstone of Ravikant's philosophy on wealth. He advocates for patience and perseverance, recognizing that significant value creation and wealth accumulation are rarely instantaneous. This approach encourages individuals to invest in their skills, build enduring relationships, and develop products or services that offer lasting utility rather than chasing ephemeral trends or quick gains. Such a mindset allows for the compounding of efforts and knowledge, creating a sustainable trajectory of growth. It cultivates resilience, enabling individuals to navigate inevitable setbacks and market fluctuations with a steady hand, always focused on the ultimate goal of delivering enduring value. Ravikant articulates wealth as an outcome that can be consistently achieved by mastering the art of providing utility. This involves deeply understanding what others need or desire, and then developing the capacity to deliver that with excellence. It requires a keen awareness of market demands, a commitment to continuous learning, and the ability to translate abstract ideas into concrete solutions that enhance people's lives or businesses. The more effectively one can solve problems for a larger audience, or solve more significant problems for a smaller audience, the greater the potential for wealth generation. This perspective demystifies wealth, presenting it as a logical consequence of applied intelligence, effort, and a genuine desire to serve. The modern relevance of this value-centric approach to wealth creation is immense. It provides a powerful antidote to the pervasive culture of get-rich-quick schemes and the superficial pursuit of financial status divorced from genuine contribution. By framing wealth as a byproduct of utility, Ravikant offers a sustainable, ethical, and deeply empowering model for financial success. It encourages individuals to align their professional lives with their passions and curiosities, fostering a sense of purpose that extends beyond mere monetary gain. This philosophy is universally applicable, transcending specific industries or economic conditions, and providing a robust intellectual toolkit for anyone seeking to build enduring prosperity through meaningful work. It underscores that true wealth is actively generated through the consistent provision of value. The human condition, a persistent subject of inquiry across millennia, often finds itself grappling with the pervasive shadow of suffering and the elusive pursuit of contentment. In contemporary society, this struggle is frequently amplified by an environment that frequently equates personal worth with external validation, the accumulation of possessions, or the attainment of fleeting societal markers. Naval Ravikant's intellectual architecture offers a profound reorientation, presenting happiness as a cultivated internal discipline, a skill honed through deliberate practice. His work draws deeply from the wellsprings of ancient philosophical traditions, notably Stoicism and Buddhism, reinterpreting their core tenets for the modern psyche. Ravikant's perspective posits that the bedrock of enduring well-being lies in the systematic development of mental faculties, akin to how one might train a physical attribute. This approach is fundamentally about internal mastery. The Stoic emphasis on virtue, reason, and acceptance of what lies beyond our control finds a potent echo here. The ancient Stoics, such as Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, understood that while external events are largely unpredictable and often undesirable, our internal response to them remains within our dominion. Ravikant champions this very principle, advocating for a conscious decoupling of our emotional state from the vagaries of fortune. The problem of their time, much like ours, was a tendency to anchor happiness to external factors: wealth, reputation, the behavior of others. The Stoic solution, and by extension Ravikant's, lies in recognizing that true freedom and tranquility originate from within, from the cultivation of a rational and resilient mind. Similarly, the Buddhist philosophy, with its Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, offers a powerful framework for understanding and alleviating suffering. The core Buddhist insight that life is characterized by impermanence, dissatisfaction, and non-self resonates deeply within Ravikant's discourse. He elucidates how much of our mental anguish stems from attachment to outcomes, to possessions, to our own ego and self-image. The Buddhist practice of mindfulness, the art of paying attention in a particular way on purpose in the present moment and without judgment, becomes a cornerstone of this skill-based approach to happiness. Ravikant frames mindfulness as a direct training for the mind, enabling individuals to observe their thoughts and emotions without being swept away by them. This cultivates a crucial distance, allowing for a more objective appraisal of one's internal landscape. The pervasive human tendency towards rumination, anxiety about the future, regret about the past, all of which are rooted in a lack of present moment awareness, presents a significant challenge. His unique solution involves integrating these ancient practices into a secular, actionable methodology. He speaks of happiness as a skill that requires consistent effort, much like learning a musical instrument or mastering a complex scientific discipline. It is an active process of cultivating specific mental habits. Acceptance, a key Stoic virtue, is presented as a powerful tool for disarming distress. This acceptance extends to acknowledging the impermanent nature of all things, relationships, possessions, even our own mental states. By embracing this impermanence, one loosens the grip of attachment, thereby reducing the potential for suffering when change inevitably occurs. The detachment from ego is another critical element. Ravikant often discusses the ego as a narrative construct, a story we tell ourselves about ourselves, which often becomes a source of immense psychological burden. The pursuit of validation, the fear of judgment, the need to be right, these are all manifestations of an overinflated or insecure ego. By cultivating self-awareness and practicing detachment, individuals can begin to observe their ego's machinations without identifying with them. This allows for a more authentic and less fraught engagement with the world. The Buddhist concept of anna or non-self informs this perspective, suggesting that there is no fixed, permanent self, but rather a constantly changing aggregation of physical and mental processes. Understanding this can liberate individuals from the anxieties associated with protecting and perpetuating a rigid sense of identity. Ravikant's synthesis of these philosophies offers a potent antidote to the modern epidemic of mental distress. He reframes happiness as a solvable problem, amenable to systematic inquiry and disciplined practice. The emphasis is on internal leverage, the ability to influence one's own mental state through intention and consistent effort. He encourages the cultivation of gratitude, the practice of self-compassion, and the development of equanimity in the face of adversity. These are presented as practical techniques, not abstract ideals. For instance, the simple act of consciously noting things one is grateful for, or deliberately choosing to respond to a setback with calm rather than anger, are presented as deliberate exercises that build mental resilience over time. The modern relevance of the skill-based approach to happiness is undeniable. In an era characterized by information overload, social comparison, and constant pressure to perform, the ability to cultivate inner peace and contentment is more vital than ever. Ravikant's teachings provide a secular, pragmatic toolkit for navigating these challenges. They offer a path towards genuine well-being that is independent of external circumstances, empowering individuals to take ownership of their mental and emotional lives. This perspective fosters a sense of agency, transforming the pursuit of happiness from a passive wish into an active, achievable endeavor. The most profound transformations begin with mastering the world within. This internal mastery, cultivated through consistent practice and intellectual rigor, forms the very foundation of a flourishing life, providing a stable anchor amidst the inevitable currents of existence. The cultivation of inner peace and contentment, a theme resonating deeply with the principles of navigating existence, finds its practical application in the realm of decision-making and the art of thinking clearly. In an era characterized by information overload, social comparison, and constant pressure to perform, the ability to make sound, rational choices is more vital than ever. Ravikant's approach addresses the pervasive challenges of cognitive biases, emotional reasoning, and the inherent difficulty individuals face in dissecting complex environments to arrive at optimal outcomes. His philosophy offers a secular, pragmatic toolkit for navigating these challenges, empowering individuals to take ownership of their mental and emotional lives and fostering a sense of agency. At the core of this framework lies the emphasis on first principles thinking. This method encourages a return to fundamental truths, breaking down complex problems into their most basic, irreducible components. One is prompted to question every assumption, to rebuild understanding from the ground up. This intellectual discipline, when applied rigorously, allows for the identification of flawed premises that might otherwise underpin erroneous conclusions. It is a process of intellectual archaeology, unearthing the bedrock of any given issue before constructing a solution. The problem of our time is the ease with which we accept inherited wisdom or popular consensus without critical examination, leading to a propagation of suboptimal strategies and beliefs. Ravikant's advocacy for first principles thinking provides a potent antidote, equipping individuals with the mental tools to pierce through superficial complexities and reach the essential nature of a problem. Complementing this is the deliberate application of mental models. These are frameworks, concepts, or patterns of thought that help us understand the world and make decisions. Ravikant frequently references the utility of models drawn from diverse fields such as economics, physics, biology, and psychology to provide different lenses through which to view a problem. Understanding concepts such as opportunity cost, compounding, feedback loops, and evolutionary selection provides profound insights into a wide array of personal and professional challenges. The difficulty resides in recognizing the most applicable model for a given situation and in integrating multiple models to form a more comprehensive understanding. The modern predicament frequently involves confronting multifaceted problems that a single disciplinary perspective cannot adequately address. By encouraging the deliberate construction and application of a personal library of mental models, Ravikant empowers individuals to approach challenges with a richer, more adaptable cognitive toolkit. This transforms decision-making from a reactive process into a proactive, analytical endeavor. Intellectual honesty emerges as a crucial, yet often undervalued, component of clear thinking. This involves a commitment to confronting one's own beliefs and conclusions with an unwavering dedication to truth, even when that truth is uncomfortable or contradicts deeply held convictions. There's human inclination towards confirmation bias, the tendency to favor information that confirms pre-existing beliefs, presents a significant hurdle. Ravikant champions a continuous process of self-examination, urging individuals to actively seek out disconfirming evidence and to revise their understanding accordingly. This commitment to internal truth-telling forms the bedrock upon which rational decision-making is built. Without it, even the most sophisticated analytical tools can be rendered ineffective as they are applied through a distorted, self-serving lens. Admitting error or changing one's mind is often perceived as a weakness, rather than a testament to intellectual integrity and strength. Ravikant reframes this, presenting intellectual honesty as the highest form of self-discipline, essential for genuine progress and effective problem-solving. The process of aligning decisions with long-term goals and values further refines this approach. In a world that often prioritizes immediate gratification and short-term gains, establishing clarity around one's ultimate aspirations is paramount. Ravikant advocates for a conscious articulation of core values and a consistent evaluation of choices against these guiding principles. This provides a compass, ensuring that daily actions and significant decisions contribute to a coherent and meaningful life trajectory. The challenge is to resist the temptation to deviate from one's values for fleeting advantages. By grounding decisions in a well-defined personal philosophy, individuals can navigate the complexities of life with greater purpose and conviction. This process moves beyond making decisions that are congruent with the person one aspires to be and the life one intends to build. The modern relevance of these principles is immense. In an era saturated with information, where opinions are readily amplified and misinformation can spread with alarming speed, the capacity for critical thinking and rational decision-making is a survival skill. Individuals are constantly bombarded with stimuli, presented with a bewildering array of choices, and often influenced by emotional appeals or social pressures. Ravikant's teachings provide a framework for navigating this landscape with greater clarity and intention. They offer a path to improved judgment in personal finance, career development, relationships, and even civic engagement. By cultivating the ability to dissect problems, question assumptions, and remain anchored by one's values, individuals can move from a state of passive reaction to active, informed participation in their own lives and the world around them. This internal mastery, cultivated through consistent practice and intellectual rigor, forms the very foundation of a flourishing life, providing a stable anchor amidst the inevitable currents of existence. It is a call to recognize that the most profound transformations begin with mastering the world within, a testament to the power of clear, principled thought. The culmination of Ravikant's multifaceted insights arrives in the synthesis of a life built on deliberate principles, a coherent framework for navigating the complexities of contemporary existence. His teachings converge to illuminate a path toward a fulfilling existence, one where external achievements are harmoniously integrated with internal equanimity. The overarching challenge for individuals today lies in constructing a life imbued with purpose and enduring satisfaction. Ravikant's unique contribution resides in presenting wealth, leverage, and happiness as interconnected pillars of a holistic philosophy. He provides a compelling vision for how these elements can be synergistically applied, fostering both outward success and profound inner peace. Central to this synthesis are the cultivation of autonomy, the relentless pursuit of learning, and the meaningful act of contribution, each serving as fundamental components of this integrated approach. The modern individual often finds themselves adrift in a sea of stimuli, presented with an overwhelming abundance of choices, frequently swayed by emotional appeals or the pervasive influence of social pressures. Ravikant's teachings offer a vital framework for navigating this intricate landscape with enhanced clarity and deliberate intention. They present a pathway toward improved judgment across the spectrum of personal finance, career development, interpersonal relationships, and even broader civic engagement. By nurturing the capacity to dissect problems methodically, to rigorously question prevailing assumptions, and to remain steadfastly anchored by one's core values, individuals can transition from a posture of passive reaction to one of active, informed participation in the unfolding narrative of their lives. This internal mastery, honed through consistent practice and the application of intellectual rigor, establishes the very bedrock of a flourishing existence. It provides a stable anchor, an unshakable point of reference amidst the inevitable currents of life's experiences. This perspective represents a powerful call to recognize that the most transformative changes originate from mastering the internal landscape. It is a profound testament to the power of clear, principled thought to shape one's reality. This internal cultivation, this mastery of the self, directly informs the acquisition of meaningful wealth. Wealth, in Ravikant's framework, transcends mere accumulation. It is a byproduct of creating value and operating from a position of leverage. Leverage, in its purest form, refers to the ability to amplify one's efforts and impact. Historically, leverage manifested through capital, labor, and media. Capital permits you to employ others to work for you. Labor permits you to work alongside others, multiplying your output through collaboration. Media enables your ideas and creations to reach vast audiences, extending your influence far beyond physical limitations. In the digital age, Ravikant emphasizes the ascendance of a new, potent form of leverage. Code and media. Code, the fundamental language of the digital realm, allows for the creation of scalable, automated systems that can operate independently, generating value continuously. Media empowers individuals to broadcast their thoughts, expertise, and creations to a global audience, building reputation and influence without the constraints of traditional gatekeepers. The pursuit of wealth becomes an exercise in identifying opportunities where one can apply these forms of leverage to solve problems or create value for others. This requires a deep understanding of markets, a willingness to experiment, and a commitment to continuous learning. It is about building systems, whether through software, content, or intellectual property, that can serve many without demanding an equivalent expenditure of personal time and energy for each interaction. This approach liberates individuals from the traditional confines of trading time for money, a fundamental limitation of most employment. By mastering leverage, one can engineer a life where their efforts have a disproportionately large impact, leading to financial freedom and the capacity to pursue endeavors driven by passion rather than necessity. The creation of wealth, viewed through this lens, is an intellectual and strategic endeavor deeply intertwined with one's ability to understand and manipulate the forces of leverage in the modern economy. Complementing the acquisition of wealth is the cultivation of happiness, which Ravikant posits as an internal state, largely independent of external circumstances. He argues that happiness is a skill to be learned and practiced, rather than a destination to be reached. The core of this practice lies in managing one's internal state, particularly through the cultivation of equanimity and a release of unproductive desires and attachments. Ravikant frequently references philosophical traditions that highlight detachment from results and embracing impermanence. He posits that a significant portion of human distress arises from the disparity between our anticipations and actual circumstances, and from our continuous desire for conditions to differ from their present state. By recognizing that external possessions, social standing, or even relationships are fleeting and beyond our ultimate command, we can lessen the emotional upheaval connected to their attainment or forfeiture. The cultivation of mindfulness, meditation, and reasoned self-examination are presented as essential instruments for attaining this inner tranquility. These practices empower individuals to observe their thoughts and feelings without censure, to perceive the transient character of their mental conditions, and to disengage from the ego's ceaseless desires. Happiness, within this framework, resides in the current moment, in appreciating one's possessions, and in the quiet contentment of living aligned with one's principles. It represents a state of satisfaction that originates internally, a fortitude that permits one to endure life's unavoidable difficulties with elegance and self-possession. This internal orientation is of utmost importance, as external accomplishments, regardless of their magnitude, can provide only temporary gratification if the inner disposition remains unsettled. The convergence of affluence and happiness is where Ravikant's perspective truly excels. Financial independence, attained through the astute deployment of leverage, furnishes the self-governance required to engage in pursuits that genuinely impart delight and satisfaction. This self-governance is the liberty to select how one allocates their time, with whom one associates, and which challenges one dedicates their efforts to resolving. When coupled with an internal condition of happiness and emotional balance, this self-governance transforms into a potent catalyst for a life lived fully. One possesses the freedom to create, to contribute, and to acquire knowledge without the burdensome weight of external approval or the persistent strain of financial instability. This harmonious interplay enables individuals to contribute to the world in ways that are both personally significant and broadly advantageous. By addressing issues that are important to them, utilizing their distinctive proficiencies and perceptions, and operating from a foundation of inner peace, they can generate lasting worth. This contribution, whether through entrepreneurship, art, science, or community building, amplifies the positive impact of their life. The cycle becomes virtuous. Creating value leads to wealth and autonomy, which in turn facilitates the pursuit of happiness and the capacity for more meaningful contribution. Each element reinforces the others, creating a robust and sustainable foundation for a life of purpose and fulfillment. Ravikant's teachings offer a comprehensive philosophy for self-optimization and life design. They provide a nuanced understanding of how to build a life that is both prosperous and profoundly satisfying. The emphasis on clear thinking, the strategic application of leverage, and the cultivation of internal happiness provides a potent toolkit for anyone seeking to navigate the modern world with intention and grace. It is a philosophy that empowers individuals to take ownership of their lives, to architect their own destinies, and to find enduring contentment by harmonizing their external actions with their internal state of being. This integrated approach underscores the profound truth that true success is measured by the quality of one's inner life and the positive impact one has on the world. Naval Ravikant's intellectual architecture offers a framework for understanding success and fulfillment that continues to resonate deeply, evolving with the contours of our rapidly changing world. His philosophy, a sophisticated synthesis of ancient wisdom and modern pragmatism, provides enduring principles for navigating complexity and fostering individual agency. The power of his insights lies in their ability to equip individuals with the tools to achieve external goals and to cultivate a rich and meaningful inner life. This enduring relevance stems from his profound exploration of leverage, clear thinking, and the pursuit of genuine happiness, offering a potent guide for those aspiring to design lives of purpose and contentment. The principles Ravikant articulates encourage a profound reevaluation of what constitutes a well-lived life. His emphasis on building wealth through understanding and application of leverage, whether it be through code, media, or people, provides a strategic blueprint for achieving financial freedom. Yet, this pursuit of material success is consistently framed within a larger context of internal well-being. The capacity to generate wealth is presented as means to an end, enabling greater freedom, creativity, and the pursuit of higher aspirations. This perspective elevates the conversation around success, highlighting the importance of aligning one's external achievements with a robust internal compass. Central to this enduring legacy is the cultivation of clear thinking. Ravikant's advocacy for understanding fundamental principles, for dissecting problems to their core components, and for shedding cognitive biases forms the bedrock of effective decision-making. This intellectual discipline allows individuals to move beyond superficial analyses and to engage with challenges in a more profound and impactful way. The ability to think clearly, to separate signal from noise, is an increasingly valuable asset in an era saturated with information and competing narratives. His teachings empower individuals to develop this critical faculty, enabling them to discern truth, make sound judgments, and navigate the complexities of both personal and professional life with greater acuity. Furthermore, the enduring appeal of Ravikant's philosophy lies in its focus on internal happiness. He posits that true contentment is an internal state, cultivated through understanding one's own mind, managing desires, and finding peace amidst external circumstances. This perspective shifts the locus of happiness from external validation or acquisition to internal cultivation. The practice of mindfulness, the understanding of ego, and the acceptance of impermanence are presented as active, implementable strategies for achieving lasting joy. This emphasis on inner peace provides a vital complement to the often relentless pursuit of external markers of success, offering a more sustainable and deeply rewarding path. The concept of playing long-term games with long-term people encapsulates a significant aspect of his enduring impact. This principle encourages a strategic approach to relationships and endeavors, prioritizing depth, trust, and shared vision over fleeting gains or superficial connections. In a world often characterized by instant gratification and transactional interactions, this emphasis on building enduring relationships and pursuing sustained endeavors provides a powerful antidote. It fosters a sense of community, collaboration, and shared purpose, which are essential for both individual and collective flourishing. Ravikant's exploration of accountability and responsibility further solidifies his legacy. He champions the idea that taking full responsibility for one's life, choices, and outcomes is the ultimate form of empowerment. This commitment to personal agency, to understanding that one is the architect of one's own reality, is a recurring theme that empowers individuals to break free from victimhood and to embrace their capacity for change and growth. This ownership fosters resilience, enabling individuals to face adversity with courage and to learn from every experience, transforming challenges into opportunities for development. The continued evolution of technology and societal structures presents new avenues for the application of Ravikant's principles. As artificial intelligence and automation reshape industries, his insights into leverage and the importance of unique human skills become even more pertinent. The ability to think critically, to exercise creativity, and to cultivate emotional intelligence are precisely the qualities that will distinguish individuals in the future economy. His philosophy provides a timeless guide for adapting to these shifts, encouraging a focus on developing these core human capabilities. In an era grappling with issues of mental well-being and the search for meaning, Ravikant's emphasis on internal states and the cultivation of happiness offers a crucial perspective. His teachings provide a roadmap for building resilience, managing stress, and finding contentment in a world that often seems designed to do the opposite. By distilling complex psychological and philosophical concepts into accessible principles, he empowers individuals to take proactive steps toward improving their mental and emotional health. The enduring enduring influence of Naval Ravikant lies in his ability to synthesize profound wisdom into actionable insights. He offers a philosophy that is both aspirational and practical, guiding individuals toward a life of greater purpose, prosperity, and peace. His work encourages a continuous process of learning, adaptation, and self-improvement, fostering a mindset that embraces growth and resilience. The intellectual architecture he has provided serves as a powerful testament to the possibility of harmonizing external achievement with internal fulfillment, leaving a lasting imprint on how we understand success, happiness, and the art of living a truly well-designed life. His philosophy exemplifies clear thought, strategic action, and the unwavering pursuit of inner peace, offering a beacon for navigating the complexities of existence with wisdom and grace.
We really appreciate you tuning into this AI-powered presentation. Our goal is to push the boundaries of AI in content creation, and your input is invaluable. If there's a particular subject you'd like to see us tackle next, or if you have suggestions on how we could fine-tune our AI's creative prompts, please don't hesitate to leave your ideas in the comments section. We're excited to bring you more unique content very soon.